Hello, I just wanted to share a little bit about standards-based grading and about how Algebra 1 will run. We are continuing standards-based grading this year. We're excited. This was a big success for us last year, and hopefully this will help your student master and retain the material as we go and help them take control of their learning. We are going to have packets for them to do. In their packets, they'll have a place for notes. The notes will usually begin in class with an activity or a class discussion. Then they'll go home. They'll have a couple examples that they'll watch in a video that their teacher has created and posted in Google Classroom for them. They can watch the videos without internet. They have to download at school before they go home. The videos are only 5 to 10 minutes, so they can watch them during flex if that's an easier option for them. And then but it just gives them a couple more examples of what we've done that day. So help make that even a little bit more concrete than what they got in class. And then they'll come back and they'll do their practice in class with us to help them before we move on to the next topic. And periodically they will have assessments. These assessments will be graded by standard and will go into the 80% of their grade that we call math standards. The other 20% of their grade is non-math standards. So that's, did you take your notes? Did you complete your practice on time? Turning your packet on time. We'll also have projects each unit. So was your project turned in on time? Did it meet all the requirements? Was it complete and neat? Kind of those work skills that all of our students need. And then the 80% that comes from assessments will come from their math standards. So each time they assess, they will be given a sheet that looks like this, only the standards will change as the year goes on, that shows them how they did on each standard. So instead of just getting an A, B, C, D, or F, they'll get a score out of 5 for each standard we assessed. So for one-step equation, they'll either have a 5, 4.5, 4, 3.5, 3, 0. And then for multi-step, they'll either have a 5 all the way down to a 0. Okay? And a 5 means that there was no error. They did it perfect the first time. 4.5, they were really close. They made a very minor error. 4, we have a bigger non-conceptual error or many little mistakes. So a big conceptual error, maybe we don't know how to multiply and divide, but right then that's not what we're testing. So that's a 4. It doesn't have to do with the concept that we're testing at the time. 3.5 means that there is a small conceptual error. So there is an error related to the concept that we're assessing. 3, there's a larger conceptual error, but there is some conceptual idea of what's going on. So some idea of how to start the problem. And then a 0, we're not there yet. We don't yet know how to begin this problem. Okay? So that's something that we need to continue to work on. So the cool thing about this is that it's never one and done. They always get a chance to reassess and to improve their score. So maybe the first time they take an assessment, they get, maybe they get a couple 5s, but they also get a couple 0s and a 3. And instead of that all averaging together, maybe meaning they got a D or an F on that assessment, it just tells them for each standard whether they've mastered it or they need to continue to work on it so that they can improve next time they take the test. Each time they assess, many or all of the standards we've covered before will be on the assessment again, along with anything new that we've worked on. Those scores will replace the old ones. So if they didn't do so well the first time, they got some 0s and some 3s, they'll have multiple opportunities later to assess over that same topic and change it to a 4 or 5. Okay? Whatever their most recent assessment is, that's what's in the grade book. So for better or worse, each time they assess, the score replaces, so that hopefully we can work towards mastering all the material that they need to be successful in future math classes and the EOC and ACT and all of those big tests that are important to your student. They also get to track their data as we go, so they'll have their own spreadsheet, something like this. They can show you anytime. It's in their Google Drive, and they know how to get to it. And what this is it shows their score for each assessment. Each column is a different assessment, so that hopefully we can see that progress. So, for instance, this particular student started off not being able to write an equation, and it was something we really struggled with, but as the year went on, we progressed until they could do it flawlessly. And that's what we really hope to see with all of our students, is that we continue to see the growth, and we get more and less zeros and more fives as we go through the year. More and more things that they have mastered and they can do without error. And that's the basic rundown of standards-based grading. Please let your student's Algebra 1 teacher or myself know if you have any further questions. Here is all of our contact information. Thank you for watching.